Alright guys, welcome to a very interesting video. Now this is going to be very useful for people who have the Poco X3 Pro because in this video we're going to do a side-by-side comparison of what you have and if this dies, what they are offering you. Now this is really interesting considering the fact that you might really not have many options, but towards the end of the video we will also talk about other options that you may have. So before we get into the details, if you haven't already, please subscribe because it doesn't cost you anything and it really motivates us to make amazing content like this. Now without further ado, hello awesome people, welcome to PhoneOps. My name is Kailash. Let's get going. So we do have a giveaway going on with our PhoneOps Gears cases. You can go ahead and click on the link in the description and participate. So let's see what exactly we are talking about in this interesting video. So first things first, we are talking about Poco X3 Pro versus the Redmi Note 10 Pro. Now Snapdragon 860, 732G, why are we comparing them? Reason being, a lot of Poco X3 Pro devices have been hard bricking. Now what does hard bricking means? It means that there is some hardware issue with the device which kills the motherboard or some component on the motherboard. In this case, it is the PMC chip which is dying, because of which they are either giving you a Poco X3 Pro. Worst case and most of the cases, they are giving you this device, the Redmi Note 10 Pro, 6128 against the 6128 Poco X3 Pro. Now, this is where my problem is. There are good sides and bad sides to it. I'll tell you how. First of all, if you are a person who has purchased the Poco X3 Pro for gaming, which in all probability you are, because the Poco X3 Pro doesn't have a good display, it doesn't have a good camera, it does have very good battery life, and it doesn't have a slim profile. So Poco X3 Pro is that heavy, big device which you would use for long hours of gaming, and it would give you the maximum gaming performance for minimum amount of money. In this case, 18,000, 17,000, even 16,000 rupees when it was available on the market. Now, fast forward to the Redmi Note 10 Pro. When you talk about this device, this is a completely different, a very capable camera system, a splendid display, and amazing battery life, but lackluster gaming. So when you're going from a gamer using the 860 to a gamer using the 732, you're not gonna like it. And that's why this video is very important. So first things first, if your Poco X3 Pro has died, it is under warranty. And if they are telling you that we will be giving you a Redmi Note 10 Pro, just don't accept the device. If you're a gamer, especially if you're a person who likes a lot of performance on their smartphone, just don't go for it, because at times I have observed that the Redmi Note 10 Pro does lag in the UI as well, and you cannot blame this device. Come on, this is a 732G. It's not even the 765 or 768 which are equivalent to this Snapdragon 855 and stuff like that. This is a 732G, and if you don't believe me, let me show you the benchmark numbers side by side. So first we will go to Antutu on both the devices. Now just look at the numbers here. 328, 596. This device, the Redmi Note 10 Pro, is literally 50% performance of the Poco X3 Pro. Not only that, if you individually compare CPU score 90,000, 1,50,000. Again, GPU score 93,000, 200,000. The GPU is more than twice powerful compared to that on the Redmi Note 10 Pro. Memory performance 51,793 and 110,000. And UX, okay, that is the user interface. But if you look at these numbers, you know, they are double as far as performance is concerned. I understand the Poco X3 Pro doesn't really have a great display and great camera, but people don't buy this device for that. Now, if we further go to the CPU throttle test, let's see if in the performance of CPU throttling, at least if there is any difference, you know. So let's talk about this. Average score 142, 829 and 178, 560. Maximum 186, 001, 161, 207. So again, even in the CPU throttling test, you know, there is a lot of difference as far as the performance is concerned. Last but not the least, we are left with Geekbench is what we have to compare. And if we look at the history, 538 single core, 772 single core, 1700 multi-core and 2762 multi-core. So in my opinion, if you are a Poco X3 Pro user whose phone has died and you've taken it to the service center and they are telling you that we will give you a Note 10 Pro in exchange, you have two options. One, deny the exchange, tell them you either want the Poco X3 Pro or a device which has equal amount of performance. Okay, that is your first option. Second option, yes, you're getting a brand new Redmi Note 10 Pro. If it is a sealed pack unit, just take it from them and probably sell it on OLX and get a different device which is capable like the Poco X3 Pro. Now, the only scenario in which I would recommend that you do this switch of a Poco X3 Pro to Redmi Note 10 Pro is you are a media freak, like you want to consume a lot of media on your Note 10 Pro. You like the display on this particular Note 10 Pro. Only in that case, if you want slightly better camera as well, you can go for the Note 10 Pro. If you want a slimmer device, you can go for the Note 10 Pro. But if performance is your mantra or performance is your game, don't downgrade to the Redmi Note 10 Pro from the Poco X3 Pro. I don't know why Poco is doing it, why Xiaomi is doing it. Probably they have extra units of the Redmi Note 10 Pro available. That's the reason they're giving you the Note 10 Pro instead of the Poco X3 Pro. But in my opinion, this is a completely stupid switch if you're going to play games on this. I did stream yesterday or day before yesterday using the Note 10 Pro. Go ahead and watch that stream. I was not able to play even 2 matches at the lowest settings on Apex Legends. So I'm not saying this is a bad device, but from a gamer's point of view, yes, this is plenty a bad device. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about my opinion. Until the next one, this is Kailash signing off at PhoneOps. Keep smiling. Take care. Goodbye.